guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. I know that I've been a little MIA, and I really don't mean to. I haven't really been off social media. I've been all over Snapchat and Instagram. I feel like what happened is that I was just focusing so much on my Instagram page that I kind of just got so distracted with Instagram, but I've been uploading a lot on Instagram, and I will continue to upload a lot of content on Instagram. I actually tried to film a YouTube video recently, but when I went to go back to edit the footage, I had some clips missing, which was so devastating. It was actually just the end of the clip, the end of the video that I didn't have anymore, so I thought that I could still use the footage and put it up on Instagram, which is what I did, so it didn't go to waste. So I'm here now with this super fall inspired cranberry tone look. I have been really craving to do a look like this with just very metallic cranberry shades on the eyes, some red, some very deep black, some big lashes, and a really dark rich cranberry violet type of lipstick. So exactly like this is what I wanted to get out of my system to bring in the fall season. I really am so excited for fall, you guys. This season is going to be so exciting. I actually have a lot of fall looks in mind, including a lot of Halloween looks, so spooky looks, face painting looks, blood. I have so many ideas. I actually want to do the 31 days of Halloween in fall, but I don't know if I can commit to 31 looks. I really hope that I can. So I don't want to put it out there that I'm going to be doing 31 looks, but I'm definitely going to try to strive and do 31 looks for the 31 days of the season. So I really hope that you enjoy this look. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Norvina. This is a new palette that just was released. It's amazing. I've already used it a few times over on my Instagram page. It's great. So if you want to see how I achieved this look with the Norvina palette, just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so just to begin prepping my skin, I am starting off with this BioClarity Floralux moisturizer. I really like this one. It really does smooth out my skin and hydrates my skin really well. I have really extremely dry skin, so this one has argan and olive oil, which is going to be really moisturizing for your skin. It's like a green gel. So I have really dry skin in my T-zone area, which is normally where people get oily, but I just like to pat it into my skin, and it's been making my skin feel so good. So I've been using it for a couple weeks already. It was actually sent to me to test it out and review it, but I've actually been liking it a lot. I'm just noticing right now that it really is not scented, which is good. I really don't like moisturizers, especially like my skincare products, to be very scented. I just feel like if something's too scented, it's not that good for your skin, because that means that they just added a whole bunch of perfume in there, and that can be good for your skin. So after that, I'm just going to be using a little bit of this e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I've been loving this primer. This came out with the Jelly Pop collection. I'm just taking a few drops onto my fingertips right here, and I'm putting this right on my nose and the tops of my cheeks, sometimes on my chin. So this feels like a very thick gel. Like, it actually feels a little bit sticky, but I think that's why I like it, because once you add your foundation over top of this, it's really adhering to your skin and to the primer, so everything is just layering really beautifully. I was so surprised that I ended up liking this. I found it at Ulta. Hopefully it's not limited edition because it was part of their jelly collection, but if I can find this, if they still are going to be making this, I'm probably going to be using this for a while because it's so inexpensive. I think it was $6, maybe $8. It just makes my foundation stick so well. It looks really smooth, and it actually hydrates my skin. So anything that doesn't cause my skin to look more dry than what it is a plus for me. So for my eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Dip Brow Pomade from ABH. This is actually the shade Dark Brown. I used to use a much lighter shade than this, but I just felt like on camera you really couldn't see it that well, so I switched over to Dark Brown, and I've actually been liking it. I even use Dark Brown when I'm not filming or not taking pictures for Instagram or anything like that. I still use Dark Brown, so I just love this color. I feel like it's dark enough to look really dark on the brows and make your brows stand out a lot, but it's not too dark that it matches my hair, because I really don't like black eyebrows. I've said this before, it looks great on some people, but I'm just not comfortable with black eyebrows. So I'm going to be doing my brows off camera. I'm using this Sephora brush right here. It has the angled bristles on one side and the spoolie on the other. So I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I filled in my brows, I'm going to go around the edges with this new concealer. I've been using the Tarte Shape Tape for so long, but this concealer from Benefit just came out and it kind of caught my eye pretty much only because of the packaging. It looks like a little pencil. I feel like it's so cute. So it has the little metal part here of the pencil with the eraser. It's a hard plastic, so it's not like, it doesn't feel like an eraser at all. But I think it's so cute. It's the Boing Cakeless Concealer from Benefit. I've been using this for a little while. Honestly, I feel like since my skin is so dry, it doesn't look as good as the Tarte Shape Tape. The Shape Tape really hydrates my skin. I feel like this one accentuates my dry skin. So throughout the day, I feel like it cracks a little bit and it doesn't look that smooth. So I've only used it about once or twice now as like my first impression. That throughout the day, it kind of just ended up looking worse throughout the day. And you know how most makeup will look better throughout the day as you wear it? This just kind of looked a little worse on me. So I'm going to give it a try still. I'm still testing it out. I don't know if it was just because I didn't prep my skin good enough that day or what happened that day, but it didn't look that good. So I'm going to try it out again. I'm going to be using this as an eyeshadow primer, and I'm also just taking some onto a brush, just a flat brush like this, and I'm going to be carving out the edges of my eyebrows just to clean up my brows. And this makes your brows look so much cleaner, so much more smooth, more sharp. I've been doing this for a long time. I like to fill my brush with a lot of concealer. It's easier if you have more as opposed to if you have too little. It's going to be a lot more difficult. So I just like to get right up under the edge of the eyebrow, and then I like to just carve out the edge, and then I'll shape the top. And it makes your eyebrow look so much cleaner. Blending this edge. I mean, I'm really not blending it because I don't have foundation on yet, but I'm just dragging it upwards so that when I do come in with my beauty sponge to put my foundation on, I don't have to get too close to the brow. I used to do that before. I used to not like blend it up. I would get in with my foundation sponge and I would, these things are so huge that I would just be bouncing it around my brow, and I would cover my brow and it would be covered with foundation. So I like to just drag it upwards, that way I don't have to go so close with the sponge. This is the new ABH palette. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. You've probably seen it all over Instagram. I've been doing so many videos with it on Instagram. I'm just so happy with this palette. I always call it the NORVINA palette. It's actually called the NORVINA Collection Pro Pigment Palette Volume 1. It has a really long name, but it's so pretty. The only thing that I always struggle opening this palette because it doesn't have like the little indents right here. It's just like a big magnet, so I always struggle opening it, especially with these long nails. But look at these shades, they're absolutely beautiful. For today, I actually want to use this red and some of these darker 3 tones right here. I've been doing so many bright looks that I really just want to do something dark. So I'm going to be doing something dark today with a little bit of red. Okay, so I have the majority of one eye done. I haven't done the under eye area because I'm waiting to do my foundation and everything first. So this is what one eye looks like. I'm going to do the other eye. All I have so far is the Boing concealer, and I'm using this as a primer. So the very first thing that I did was I took this shade right here, which is C1. So I'm applying this into my brow bone area and also to the very inner corner of my eye. This is a matte white. I love the matte whites that Anastasia puts out. They're always super opaque, super white. Even from the Riviera palette that just came out during the summer, the white one was my absolute favorite shade from that palette. Just because they're always extremely opaque, and you don't really get a lot of color payoff with a lot of white eyeshadows. Okay, so the next shade that I'm taking is D5. This is a matte black. So this is a matte black shade. I'm taking this like on a packing brush, and I'm really just going to create this shape right here. I'm really just going to define the crease area of my eye. I'm really packing this in. I'm really not blending it at all. I'm just going to do a really thick dark black line. You want to do this pretty harsh. You don't have to be perfect at this at all. The next thing that I'm going to do is take E5, which is this shade down here. I actually thought this was going to be a brown. So this is what it looks like swatched. It's a very cranberry shade, like more of a cranberry shade than a brown. Using the same type of brush, I'm going to be picking up that E5 and I'm going to be putting it right over top of this dark line, kind of like just layering them. And I'm really just packing it onto this shade just like I did the black one. I'm really not blending it out yet, but I'm just going to be packing it over the edge of the black just so that the black can still show through the bottom, but the brown or the E5 is what's going to show through the top. All I'm doing is packing this shadow on top of the black. And so you're going to be able to see a difference between the black and the next shade that I put over. But the more you go back and forth, you really do cover up this black edge and you just start to blend them in together. So at this point I do like to blend the two colors where they meet just a little bit. It helps to tie everything in together at the end much quicker. So you really do save a little bit more time if you start blending now. But I am still going to be adding another shade on top of this one. So this just gives you a little bit of a head start in the blending process. So as you can see the black shade that I did and then the brown shade or the E5 shade that I put right on top. But we do want it to look a lot more blended like this. So right on top of this E5, I'm going to be adding a red shade. So I'm going to be doing this one right here, which is D3. It's a very bright matte red. So I'm going to be applying the bright red right at the base where the white shade and the cranberry shade meet. So I'm just going to be popping this right in there. I'm kind of trying to tap off the excess, although I know this one is going to be extremely bright. I'm just going to be putting it in right in this area. Now I've noticed that whenever I do my eyeshadow this way, like I layer them from the darkest to the lightest shade, I always notice that I run out of space right here in this corner. Right here in this corner where my eyebrow touches the crease colors. So I always run out of space there. I used to think that I had a lot of lid space and a lot of crease space to do a whole bunch of different colors, but I quickly realized that I don't have that much space as I thought I did. Okay, now that I have the red, I'm going to go back with the brush that I used for the cranberry shade and the black shade. I'm going to buff them just until I get a really nice blend that I am happy with. So I'm going to be doing that right now. I'm just going to go back and forth with the black, with the cranberry, and with a little bit of the red just to get a nice blend. I really like how I diffused the red on this eye. Just to diffuse the area of the red and the white, I'm going to take a very small brush and I'm going to be taking a little bit more of the white eyeshadow. All I'm going to be doing is tapping off the excess and then going over the edges of the red so that it looks more blended, a little bit cleaner, a little softer. It looks very harsh if I don't do that, so I'm going to be adding just a little bit of the white to these edges. You really just have to go back and forth. Right now I'm putting a little bit more white. Maybe I might have to go in and put a little bit more red, you know, so everything is just layering and going back and forth until you have what you're happy with. You're really, like as you can see right in this corner, I'm just buffing it with a little bit of the white and it's really distributing the red shade. And right here the red looks a lot more blended than it looks over here. So this is what I want. And so I'm also going to be taking the brush that I had the red color on. I'm going to be just buffing it a little bit or tapping it off a little bit and then just popping just a little bit more in here. But I'm not packing it in. I'm really trying to blend it in as I go. It's just going back and forth until you have what you're happy with. I find that this is the part of the makeup that's most time consuming. After I'm done with my eyeshadow, I can pretty much finish very quickly. And now that I have that, I'm going to be taking the Anastasia primer and a very tiny eyeshadow. This is a very tiny detailing brush, like mainly for concealer. It's very flat. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia primer. I'm taking this on my brush and I'm going to be cutting the crease. now that I have my crease cut, I'm going to be starting to add the shadow that I have to deepen up the outer corner. I'm taking the D5 again. This is the black eyeshadow. I'm really packing it on my brush, and I'm really just going to start deepening up the outer corner. I'm really just packing it on pretty messy. I'm going to go over this with a makeup wipe just to give me a sharper edge. So I don't really worry about that right now. All I worry about is just getting the color on there. I really want it to be really dark. I'm really darkening up this outer corner, and I'm going in an angled shape like that. I'm going to be going in with the E5. And with this one, I'm going to be going over the edge of this black and still doing the same shape. I still want the diagonal shape. I'm just going closer to the eyelid. I'm also trying to blend the cranberry shade into the black as much as I can, and I am taking these shades all the way up to the crease. That's why I didn't cut the crease all the way down here, because I knew that I was going to be adding. My camera stopped. I hope that it got everything that I did up until this cranberry shade. I'm going to be taking the shade right here, which is C3. It's a super metallic cranberry. This is what it looks like swatched. It's just so pretty, so reflective. So with this shade, I'm going to be putting it right here in this inner corner. So I'm going to be using a really tiny small brush like this, and I am going to be wetting the brush with Fix Plus. You get a lot more of the metallic finish to show up if the brush is wet. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just going to be popping this color right into this area where I don't have any shadow. So now that I have the eyeshadow done for both eyes, I am going to be just taking a makeup wipe and clean up this edge right here. Really carving this out into like a sharper edge. I already kind of had that shape. That's why a lot of people like to add tape to this part of their eye. So that you can just go hard with your eyeshadow, and then once you peel it off, you have a really thick, a really straight line. So for my foundation, I'm going to be using the Anastasia foundation. This is a luminous foundation. I've been loving this foundation. I've been using it for a couple weeks already, and I'm in the shade 220N. So kind of like so you guys can have something to compare it to. So in MAC foundations, I'm a NC 20 to 25. So in the Anastasia foundation, I'm a 220N, and it's pretty much the same. They both match me really good. I'm going to be using the Boing concealer. I'm just going to be doing a few little dots of this right under my eyes and blending it out with a brush. I like to get my concealers lighter than my foundation shade so it can give me brightness. Now that I have my concealer and my foundation on, I'm going to be using a product that I haven't used in months, like in so long, and I don't know why. I used to love this stuff. It's the Airspun powder. So I have the translucent extra coverage shade. I used to use this so much. I just kind of stopped using it because I got the Huda one. I just got a couple other ones. Ugh, I don't like how this smells. I just don't like how this smells. It has like a very strong scent. It doesn't smell bad, it just smells like very strong perfume. I take most of the product under my eyes. Whatever I have left on the brush, I just like to dust it down the rest of my face. I'm taking Hoola, and I'm just doing this just to contour my skin. Just to highlight, I'm going to be using the cookie shade right here. I like to take this on a fan brush. This is a Morphe fan brush, and pop it right under my eye and right on top of the contour, so it just gives me a little reflection. So I'm going to go off camera just to do liner and lashes, and I'll be right back. For my liner, I used the new Anastasia liquid liner. I've actually really been liking this liner. It's not a brush, it's more of like a felt tip, but it distributes so much product and you can really get a sharp line with it. So I've been liking this so far. I wanted to show you the lashes that I'm using. They're actually kind of large. These are from a brand called Mystic Lashes. Now this is the lash. The same two shades that I used in my outer corner, which is E5 and D5. I'm first going to start with E5, which is the lighter one, and then I'm going to go in with D5. So a lot of people might not agree with me to throw on a really dark lip, but I really want this to be very dark, like a very cranberry color on my lip, just so it can match my eyes. I really want this to be one of my very first fall looks of the season. So I'm going to be going in with Jeffree Star's Velour Liquid Lipstick in Triggered. I love his liquid lipsticks. They're amazing. The formulation is great. I used a lot of products today that I'm really in love with. Anastasia palette. I feel like you get so many amazing shades in here. Let me just open it up one more time so you can see. There's so many beautiful, amazing shades in here. A lot of them are really good for fall time, which is coming up. I really do love this time of the year because you can get creative. So if you don't follow me on Instagram and you want to check it out, my username is leahnicole_XX. I've been posting a lot on my Instagram recently, so many videos on Instagram. It's really kind of hard to just focus on one, either YouTube or Instagram. So I'm doing both. I'm gonna get back to doing both. I love getting on here and just talking. And on Instagram, well, you can't really do that. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you like this look. It's something really dark. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.